And
This meeting is being recorded.
all right, so we're now recording to the cloud. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody, for showing up tonight. This is Learn Forex with Edgar, and we do this every Saturday night at 8 p.m. And tonight we're going to go with what the crowd wants, which is binary options. That is what you're seeing on your screen right now. You're seeing Pocket Options, which is the broker that we prefer to work with right at this moment. We have another broker that we are slowly introducing, and that is this one right here. It's called QTEX, but I'm going to let Taz go over all that as he introduces everybody to it. Okay. So what we have been concentrating on for the past 3 weeks is we have been concentrating on learning how to trade with the assistance of the Bollinger Band and the stochastic, that's a stochastic oscillator. So tongue twister right there. All right, so let me take a look and see if we can find something, because as you can see, this right here has been flat for a while. So let's take a look at what we have. Everything is at 80%. Here we have something that might have a little bit of interest. So as we know, with the Bollinger Band, what we're going to do is we're going to wait for pricing to go outside the band, like it did right here. And then we're going, when it comes from the red band right here, which is the outside of the Bollinger Band, to the white line right here, okay, we are going to sell the pair or the stock. We are going to stand pad when it gets to the middle right here. That is no man's land, is what I call it. And when it comes out of the middle, okay, we're going to go ahead and continue to sell it. And as you can see, it is now outside the Bollinger Band. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for it to go ahead and come back to go ahead and start to buy it. So from the red to the white, we sell, we leave it alone in the middle. We continue to sell as it goes down to the green. And when it goes outside of the green, we're going to wait for it to come back in. And then we're going to go ahead and buy it until it gets to the middle. We're going to leave it alone. And then when we get out of the middle, we buy it some more until it gets to the red line. And we repeat everything. The second thing that we're going to take a look when we're looking at the Bollinger Band is our oscillator over here. As you know, when we are over the 80, okay, that means that the stock or the pair, it is oversold. So we are, excuse me, it is overbought. So that means that we're going to go ahead and wait for it to explode out of the 80 like it did over here with the red line on top, okay? The red line on top being on the sellers dominating the market. We're going to wait for it to come out of the 80, and then we're going to ride it down till it gets to the 20, okay? When we're going to be undersold, okay? We're going to wait for it to come back out of the 20 on the way to the 80 so that we can go ahead and start buying it. So right now, we're outside of the Bollinger Band by quite a bit. Okay, so pricing is outside the band. And we're now going to wait on this stock to bounce back up like it's doing right now. Now, we're going to wait for the green line on the oscillator to be on top and exploding out of the 20, okay, before we're going to make any move. Because if we went and did a move right now, like right now, it's looking like it's going to buy. And if I went ahead and purchased it, as you can see, as soon as I press the button, price pull back. Okay. And we might not win that trade. The chances are, right now we're breaking even, and right now we're winning it. The green line is under the 20. So, chances are that we're going to lose that trade. I did a 30-second trade, and in fact, we went ahead and lost it. Okay. So don't get yourself being trapped by the fact that this candle turned bullish and it was looking to head in the right direction, because as long as this green line is over here under the 20 and it's on the bottom of the red line, we're looking at a selling situation, as you can see from the vortex right up on top. And you can see from the scales right here on the bottom, they are telling you that the volume is nothing but sellers. So that's what we're using 4 different indicators, so that we can go ahead and make sure that at least 3 out of the 4 are heading in the same direction. All right. So I hope everybody's seeing that perfect example of what is going on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I got a quick question.
Sure.
So that first one is the vortex. What's your settings for that vortex?
The vortex you're going to leave as it comes.
Okay.
Both, you have the vortex and you also have the momentum. The momentum over here is going to come. It's the normal setting is a 10, but you're going to change that from a 10 to a 5. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. And on your Bollinger Band, okay, on your Bollinger Band, you're going to send your period to 20. You're going to set the deviation to 2. And then, I like keeping things pretty consistent on my chart. So red to me means sell, green to me means buy. The white is neutral. So that's why I've changed the styles to red, white, and green. I put my background in fuchsia, okay, just because it's easy to go ahead and see it. All right. I make my white line 2 pixels, but as you can see, I make the red and the green 3 pixels so that I can clearly see where they are in the chart. Okay. So, the main thing is consistency and patience. Patience pays off. As you can see, this right here, if you went ahead and looked backwards, see how narrow it got over here on the channel? That's because pricing was very much in consolidation. Okay. Very much in consolidation. And if you go ahead and take a look at the oscillator from here to here was completely flat. Okay. If you take a look at the vortex during that period, the buyers were in control, but the distance between the 2 lines, between the green line and the red line, were very little. I mean, it really got narrow right here. Okay. And that's, again, an indication of how flat the market was. You see the cross right here. That's when the market changed from buyers being in control to the sellers being in control. Okay, to where it is, where we are right now. But again, when you look at the oscillator over here, the sellers are still on top with the buyers being on the bottom, and it's about to change. So you can see they're intermingling a little bit more. And you see that right here, the green line on the vortex, it started pointing upwards, even though the red is flat. The green line is pointing outwards, and you're starting to see some of the volume from the buyers on the momentum over here in the bottom. the volume from the buyers is coming in. Okay, we're still not out of the 20. Okay, so even though you see price pulling up, these are trades that if you get into them, they're going to be risky because you're shooting out of the 20. So now I'm going to go ahead and buy it. All right. So here is the green line coming out of the 20, and I went ahead and bought it, and it is retracting back again. Wow. Let's see why it's dangerous when things are not moving. And there he goes. There he goes. There he goes. It's coming out of the 20. I might get that trade, even though I got too early for it. The perfect entry would be right now. That would be the perfect entry. Okay. And I lost that trade. You are looking at right now. Okay. Come on, pull back up. And it's going flat again. It's going flat again. This thing is very fickle right now. But again, is taking a look at all the indications. And again, I'm going to wait for this candle to close to see what it's going to go ahead and do. But here are the buyers coming back into the party. The line right here, even though we're over the 20, see how flat it got? And it's starting to get some momentum right now, and it's going to go ahead and take off. So I'm going to go ahead and buy it. Okay. And it's still pulling back out flat. Okay. But see, the volume is going up on the buying side. All right. The vortex is still indicating a sale rather than a buy. So this right here, and we're getting to the middle, which is no man's land. Okay. But we won that last trade. Okay. Because the volume was going back up. But now we're getting towards the middle over here. We would not trade anywhere in this area right here in the middle, because it's going to be risky. It can go ahead and bounce off of that one line and come back down, especially see the vortex is starting to get a little bit narrower. The buyers are getting into the picture a little bit more. You have another bearish candle. Okay. So we're going to stay put and we're going to wait to see what is going to happen. All right. We're going to wait to see what is going to happen. Okay. The sellers are in control, but the volume is very light. Okay. You have the sellers in control up here. You have the buyers in control over here. You have buying volume is starting to show over here at the bottom, but you have a bearish candle because of all the split decisions. And it's going to go ahead and come back up to the plus side. It's going to go to the buy side, but you see over here, you got now another thing that you want to go ahead and see is that anytime that you have a butterfly, a dragonfly candle or a doji or a hammer or an inverted hammer, you want to stay away from the trade. You want to do not trade on any of those candles because it's not going to work in your favor. And over here, we're in the middle. We're going into a purchase again. It's showing purchase, but we're over the 20, but now in the middle of the zone over here, see the narrowing on the vortex. Okay. The sellers are losing control. All right. They're losing control, but it's still it's an even battle between the two. And you see over here, you have the dragonfly, you have a candle that opened all the way back here. Then it came all the way down here. Okay. And see where it closed. It closed all the way down here, but you have a nice wick over the middle line right here. Now, this next candle opened up here and the wick is down here and it's looking like it's going to go ahead and reverse. And there it goes. There it goes. It reversed for a couple of seconds. Okay, but if you take a look at the volume over here, the volume for the buyers is dwindled, and even though you still see a green candle, now it's red, but it's underneath the zero. Okay. It's barely above the zero. Anytime that you're under the zero, you're looking at selling situations. Above the zero, you're looking at buying situations. But it did exactly what I told you it might go ahead and do. It went to that white line in the middle and it bounced off and it's heading right back down. That's why we do not get into a trade right here in the middle. The middle is no man's land. We're not going to go ahead and trade in the middle because it can go in either direction. And we're going to stay away from anything that has a butterfly, a doji, or a hammer or inverted hammer. You know, those candles are or indications of reversal. So we're going to stay away from them. All right. And here we go into the sales side again. All right. If you can take a look, sale is winning over here on the vortex. The momentum is switching between sale and purchase. And if you take a look at the oscillator, you see the red line is catching up. See how was a little bit of a distance over here between the buyers and the sellers. Now they're pretty much even Steven. Okay. And we're looking for this to probably reverse itself and not go too much into a purchase. But then again, I might be wrong because they're fighting neck and neck. All right. You're looking at the
Excuse me, Edgar.
vortex. Yes, go ahead.
Can you let Adrian in,
I
please?
just went ahead and did.
Okay. Thank you.
Let Adrian and Marisa. Okay. But over here, the vortex is indicating that it's about to switch into a buying market. Okay. The vortex is narrowing down. Remember how wide it was over here. You have from here to here, you had a very wide margin with the sellers being in control. Now we're starting to see that change right here. Right? The sellers are no longer in control. The volume is going to the buying side a little bit. Carrie, you have a question?
Oh, that was just to let them in.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Let me lower it.
All right. So we have Marisa. I don't see Adrian haven't come in. All right. Maryland,
He's in
can
the
you
waiting
keep an
room.
eye? He's in the waiting room?
Uh-huh.
All right, let me go ahead and go over here. Okay. I don't see him on the waiting room. This over here so I can see it better. All right, so again, remember we were talking back here, we were talking about the buying side, taking control of things. Look at what happened over here. The sellers continue to dominate. It went to the crossing point and it bounced off, okay? And the sellers are still in control, even though the oscillator is telling the sellers are on top and the momentum is showing selling and buying, alternating back and forth. The vortex is telling you which way the market is going to be going, okay? And again, we have that fight. That fight started all the way back here with this candle. We started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles ago. Okay. It started a fight and it's pretty much been consolidating. Now notice, see how wide the Bollinger Band was over here when the price was moving, okay, compared to how narrow it's getting now that we're in consolidation, okay? And how do we know they were in consolidation? Because the Bollinger Band is narrowing. The vortex, okay, it started to go ahead and narrow, but look at the oscillator. See the volume of the oscillator, see how flat that line is? Now the sellers finally relinquish control, and here it goes. See how the price is shooting up, okay? Price is shooting up and going into a buy. And the volume is coming back to the buyers right back down under here. And you're
So would
seeing
you
that it's
buy
gonna,
now?
I would have bought on that candle if I hadn't been concentrated on the consolidation period. I would have bought on this candle. Now, my
About 10
strat,
seconds ago.
yeah, about 10 seconds ago. That is correct, Uncle Willie. But now, okay, I'm going to wait for pricing to go outside of the band and then catch it on the way back down. Because that's going to be the safe bet. I mean, can I trade on this candle? Absolutely. I can go ahead and say, okay, I'm going to buy it right now. All right. But I have 23 seconds left on that candle and see what happened immediately when I went ahead and did it. Price is up here. My candle pricing retracted to here. So that's why you want to be careful when you get into the trade, because if you get in too early or you get in too late, it's going to cost you. Okay. In this case right here, there goes $100. Thank God I'm on demo. Okay. But pricing went outside the Bollinger Band. Now we have a bearish candle. Okay. It's switching back to a bullish candle. We see that the oscillator price, the green, the buyers are just crossing over the 80. See how wide the difference is on the vortex between the sellers and the buyers. Is getting wider. So right now, the buyers are in complete control. All right. So,
Edgar.
yes.
Okay, so like when she had asked about that, when you were saying when it was just about out of the Bollinger Band, right?
Mhm.
But on the oscillator, it hadn't reached the 80 yet. So if you wanted to get into a trade, you probably want to get into a longer trade to give it more time to reach.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. You can get
Yeah.
into a minute or 2-minute trade, and that will give you time to go ahead and resolve the issue. But you know,
Yeah.
to me, it's
It's still a big
everybody's
risk.
it's still a risk, and to everybody is going to go ahead and be different. Okay, so you know, myself, to me, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes is an eternity. Okay, I work best in that 30-second to 1 minute range.
Yeah, I like
Okay.
30 to 40.
30 second to a minute, that's long enough for me. Okay. So I stay away from personally. It's my personal preference. Hold on 1 second.
Okay, so we waiting for the band, that candle to come
Okay.
all the way out that band?
You wait for the candle to come outside of the Bollinger Band. Okay. Once it comes out of the Bollinger Band, it's going to have to go ahead and return. The pricing is going to reverse itself.
Bounce,
Okay.
okay.
So what we're waiting is for that pricing to reverse itself. And then we're waiting for price to come out of the 80. Like right now, you see this bearish candle that it keeps switching from bearish to bullish. Okay. You have over here, you have another doji candle. You have right now, you have a bullish candle that see the price, how it's flat, how is very little difference between these candles. Okay. That's a period of consolidation. Can you get into a trade on there? Well, if you're doing 5-second trades, yeah, you can get into a 5-second trade and maybe you get lucky. Okay. But, to me, the safer thing to do is to wait for pricing to be on our side and for all the signals to be on our side so that we can go ahead and grow our account rather than break our account. So I'd rather go ahead and go with the safe bet. So I'm going to wait for the perfect situation. Again, we're going outside of the Bollinger Band right here. And as you can see, the band is starting to expand. Okay. What that expansion tells you is the price is about to move. Okay. So you're seeing the expansion of the Bollinger Band and you're seeing the contraction of the vortex. That's telling you the price is about to move and that it's going to go ahead and go in the direction that you want. So what we're doing is we're going to anticipate and we're going to prepare for the move. You're taking a look over here on the oscillator. The green is starting to get closer to the 80. Your volume is dwindling down from the buying side and is starting to go ahead and indicate that the move is about to come. So we're going to go ahead and wait for the right situation. Okay. And now it's separating again over here. It's going outside of the 80. So we're going to continue to wait and wait for the right situation. Because right now, if I got into this right now and saying, okay, it's a bearish candle, let me go ahead and sell it. Boom, immediately. Price reverts itself. Okay. And, it might come back down and get us to a place where we can go ahead and win that trade, but it might not. Chances are is that it will not, especially when you have the green line so much in dominance over here and so far outside of the 80. Okay, and we lost that trade. And if on the other hand, we say, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and buy it, it's still an iffy because yes, price might continue to go ahead and push up like it's doing right now, but there it goes. It switched to a bearish candle, and that price might go ahead and go down and get you out of the trade, even though right now it looks like it's not. So we might have gotten lucky with this one. Okay. And we did.
Because it's going to that previous high.
Right. Okay. But, and that's the other part. All right. What we're looking at is where pricing has been. Okay. And if you take a look over here, here's where the previous high was. See how big the distance between the two bands over here is. So if we go ahead and take a line and we place it over here, and let's change the color to red so that we can go ahead and see it and make it fairly big so that we can really see it. Okay, if you take a look, boom, there's where it went. That's the previous high. Okay, so that's the level of resistance on this. And what it did is it went boom, it went right back up there, and it's now looking to go ahead and bounce off and come back down. Because once you reach a level of resistance, there's only two things that can happen. You either break the level or you bounce off of it. One of the two. All right. In this case, it looks like it's going to bounce off of it. Well, it might break it. It's fighting. And that's why you wait. And it broke it. Okay. That's why you wait, because you want to go ahead and make sure that you reach everything. That's your new resistance right there. Okay. That's your new level of resistance. So again, you're looking at the volume over here. It's all buyers. The distance between the red and the green over here is all on the buying side. Okay, you're looking now, the green line on the oscillator is starting to go ahead and head down. All right, that's why you see the bearish candle right here. Can you sell it? Sell it. Boom. There it is. I sold it. What is it doing? It's going up and down, up and down. Now you see the green line over here is starting to dive. Did you see that? See the difference between where it was here and where it is right now? All right. So we're going to win that trade because of that push of the green line off of where it was towards the 80. Okay. We're going to win that trade because of that push, and we did. Would I sell it again? Not yet. Because we're still over the 80 and the line, see how it's pretty much flat. If I sell it right now, I can go in either direction. I can win that or I could lose it. It's being lost right now. Okay, and it's going to teeter back and forth, back and forth. I might even break even on this one. Okay, but it's not quite ready yet for us to go ahead and sell it. See the vortex over here. See the green line, how it shut up? Boom, I just lost that. Because see right here, boom, green line shut up. This is still flat. We're still over the 80. And the volume right here at the bottom, okay, is still indicating that there's a lot of buyers in the market still. And that's why you see the bearish candle. I mean, the bullish candle. All right. And when you take a look at where the wick is, see where the wick got all the way up there? Okay. All right. So this right here is a perfect example of what happens and why we lose trades. We either get in too early, we get in too late, or we're getting in confusing the signals. Here we are, we're pushing back again against the resistance level. This is what is called a retraction. When price retracts to its previous level, okay, it is called a retraction. When it's this small, it's also known as a correction. And usually what a pair or stock is going to do is going to go ahead and do a correction before it heads down to the south side like it did over here. Okay, it went ahead and corrected and then pushed back down. And now it's pushing back up. Now you see that your sale, your volume is going from the buying side to the selling side. Okay. And again, patience. Patience is what's going to go ahead and keep our accounts intact. So now we finally see in this line starting to inch very slowly towards the 80. See over here in the bar vortex, the red line shooting up, the green light shooting down. Okay, starting to give indications that we're going to have the narrowing and the crossing that is going to indicate the change of pricing. The volume is going to the sales side. So now is a perfect time for looking at selling situations. I will wait to the end of this candle. Actually, we're too late to get into this one. So I'm going to wait to see where this candle closes and see what I'm going to do on the next one. Look at where the wick got. The wick got all the way down here. Okay, so that's where price wants to go ahead and push. So I'm going to go ahead and wait, and I'm going to sell it now. Come on. And that was too early, still over the 80. But you see right here, see how it's narrowing. Okay, and it's still, I got in a good time. It might have been,
Real good time.
yep. Yep. But this is what I was waiting for that right there, that indication that it was going to go ahead and go, and I won that trade. Okay. Could I bought it again? Could I sell it again? Yes. But remember the rule of thumb on the middle, we want to go ahead and abstain. Why do we want to abstain? Because it might pull back. In this case, it's going to continue to go. Okay. Because we're looking at this narrowing over here and boom, it is shooting out of the 80. So I just sold it again. All right. I just sold it again. Come on. Don't make me look bad. You see the grid line is now on top. It is definitely a selling market now. Okay. Come on. There you go. Push one more. One more. Come on. There you go. Now you're behaving. All right. And we won that trade too. Okay. I'm going to wait to see what this candle does. And that's going to determine whether I'm going to sell it again or not. Because as you can see, the market is starting to go in that direction. But look at where the candle is closing. Okay. It's going to go ahead and push back up a little bit. And it did. All
So
right.
when that crosses over in the vertex, that means that it's getting ready to change.
When it crosses in the vortex is when it's going to change. But you see how narrow the vortex is?
Yes.
Okay. This can go ahead and flip at any moment. So I would not get into another sale over here because it's going to be onshore. Also, we're now, okay, under the 80, entering towards the middle over here, which is risky to go ahead and get into a trade. But now look at this candle. This candle is, see where the wick at? It got all the way down here. That's what price wants to go. Okay. So what I'm going to wait is I'm going to wait for this candle to close and see where it closes. Okay. It's going to close right there. And now it's going into a little bit of a bullish candle before it reverts itself. Now I'm going to go ahead and sell it again. Okay.
Sell.
All right. And there it goes. All right.
Big greens. Come on, Edgar. Big greens.
All right. And I'm on a 30-second trade. So I don't have to wait that long. To me, 2 minutes, to me, it's an eternity. That's way too long to keep holding my breath.
Oh,
Okay.
man, because it's going to turn around on you before 2 minutes is up.
Right. Like it's doing right now. We're in 30 seconds. It's already turning around. Okay. But you see where the wick is? The wick is right down here. Okay. That's where price wants to go. So I'm going to wait for this candle to end. Okay. And I'm going to wait for it to get higher, higher. Okay. And I'm going to now this is pushing back up. I'm waiting for it to retract again. There you go. Now I'm going to sell it. Come on. Didn't retract enough. I got in too early. Come on. There you go. There you go. Come on. And I won that. Okay. That's a risky one, but I won it. Okay. And what I did on that one is I waited for price to push up, retract down, and bought it at the middle of a candle so that I would have room for it to push down during the sale. Okay, and I could have went ahead, go ahead and sold it again and be safe on this one, on this candle, because this candle is going to go outside of the Bollinger Band.
Yeah, I just sold it twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. This candle is going outside of the Bollinger Band. Like it did. Barely, but it went out. Okay. And that's all it is, folks. It's just reading the signs and having the patience to pick your time. Okay. Are you going to win every single one of them? No, nobody does. But if you're 80 to 90%, you're golden. Any questions? Carrie?
I'm feeling a little better because I was having a problem looking at when it actually closed. So I'm like, that helped.
Okay. That's what we're here for.
Mhm.
That's
Thank
what we're
you.
here for. Bridget?
When do you determine to switch what you're trading? Like if you're doing Apple now, when do you decide, well, let me look at something else?
Okay.
You could ride this for a while. I mean,
And that's the other thing. I mean, you can ride any pair for a while. If you have the patience, okay, you can ride, and that's the beauty of the Bollinger Band and the oscillator, okay? You can stay on one pair and ride it. You just got to be patient, not get bored.
now
But
you may want to change if the percentage of their percent of what they giving out on the wins. drop.
correct, correct. I don't touch anything under 70%, okay? If it goes below 70%, it's not worth my while. But to answer your question, all right, here's what I avoid, this stuff. See how that oscillator is flat right there? See how
Yeah.
the vortex, okay, is very narrow? See how the volume over here is non-existent?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see how it went from a very wide Bollinger Band to a narrow Bollinger Band, because over here, right at this candle, right after this candle, consolidation started and boom, it's right in the consolidation. See how the price is staying right there in the middle, right at that white line. All right. I avoid things like this. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for things that are jumping. A wide Bollinger Band, that's excellent. Okay, see how it's wide over here, but then again, you take a look at the oscillator right here and it is flat. And if you take a look at that, okay, you have consolidation all the way through there. Okay, and the volume scarce. I mean, on a weekend, it's kind of hard to determine what's going to be what and what's going to be jumping because everything is so fake. Okay. Even when it comes to currencies during the weekend, it's nothing but fake. This is all made up market. But you know, when I'm looking for this. I'm looking for trends. I'm looking for trends to be heading in one direction, like over here. Okay, you have a very long period of downward trend. Okay, over here you had a kind of a little bit of an uptrend, but I'm looking for trends. I'm looking for things to be busy. I'm looking for the vortex and the oscillator not to be flat. I'm looking for a lot of scales, one way or another. But you want a market that is volatile, okay? Because the more volatile the market, the more money you're going to make. Because you're going to do the strategy is just very simple. You're going to look for price to come out. outside of the band, ride it on the way down, wait for it to come out outside of the band, ride it on the way up, wait for it to come out of the band, ride it on the way. I mean, it's just like Uncle Willis said, you can stay on one pair and make a killing. Make a killing.
So, your bid on your sales and buys was $100. So when you win that trade, the next bid, how much do you go up, if any, or do you just keep it at 100 all the time? Like, how do
Okay.
you determine?
What I do is when I go into trading, I go into my trades with a plan. Okay. And what I mean by going into trades with a plan is, I'm going to show you 1 second. Oops, wrong file. Here's the file that I want. Okay. I always go into my trades with a plan. All right. Let's say that I have $200. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that $200. I'm going to make my bet amount 5%. Okay. I'm being very conservative on this one right here. You have 5% bet amount. So your trade, okay, you bid doing 5% of what you have on your account. So $200, I'm going to go ahead and start with $10. Okay, so I'm going to assume an 88% payout. Okay, let's go ahead and change that and make it 80%, which is more of what you're going to find on a regular basis. All right. And you go ahead and go with $200, you're going to go ahead and do $10. When, let me expand this. Where's my Zoom? Oh, God. All right, there you go. Now we can see it better, right? So we're going to start with $200. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with $200. We're going to make our first trade. It's going to be $10. Okay. Then that's going to go ahead and win me $8. So now I have $208 to work with. So at $208, I'm going to stay with a $10 trade. Okay. I'm going to make $8.32. Okay. Because now I have $208 to work with. So that now gives me
So please do that
$216.
tomorrow, okay?
Huh? That now gives me $216.32. So now my trade is $11. I win $8.65. My next trade is going to be $11. That is $9 profit on that one. That's going to put me at $233.97. So my next trade is going to be $12. Okay. And that's going to put me at 243. Now you notice that I have a red on the fifth trade. That means that I'm going to go into this session and I'm going to do 5 trades. I'm going to make my money. As long as I win my trades, I make my money and I get out. Okay. Does that make sense?
Gotcha.
Always go into trading with a plan. Okay, because when you go without a plan, that's when you don't stay disciplined, and that's where you're going to go ahead and break your account.
Now you do 5 trades, but if you lose 3 of them, do you stop altogether, or you do
I
5
stop at 2.
at 2?
Yep. 2
Even if
trades
you
and I'm
only
out.
do 5. Okay.
2 loses and I'm out. Because that means that, you know, I have to chase the market, and I'm not going to chase the market. So my rules are, I stay very disciplined. And this right here is conservative, okay? This is what I do most of the time. 300 out to start, and we're looking at 15% right here, okay? And then I got 20% over here on the back end. So what I have on my plan right here, I start with $300. I'm gonna go ahead and do $45 trade, make $36 in profit. So that's gonna be bring me to $336. My next trade is gonna be $50, give me $40.32 in profit, brings me to $376.32. My next trade is gonna be $56, maybe $45.16 in profit. That brings me to $421.48. Next trade is going to be 63, make me $50.58. That brings me $472.06. Next trade is going to be $71, which brings me to $56.65. Okay, and profit gives me a total of $528.70. What I'm going to do is after my 5 trades, I get out. I'm going to take $105.74 and I'm going to pocket, okay? Because I'm going to put 20% of what I won in my pocket and take it out. Next day, I'm ready with $422.96, and I'm going to repeat the process and continue to go all the way through here. And at the end of 60 trades, okay? That's what we have. Okay. This right here is a plan. And in the process of doing this, my first day, I'm putting $105 in my pocket. Second day, $149.08. The third day, $210.18. The fourth day, I'm putting $296 in my pocket, then $417, $589, $830, $1170. So you're doing both, growing your account and putting money steadily in your pocket at the same time. Any questions? And no, Deacon, this is not a 30-day plan. This is 60 trade plan. If you divide 60 by 5, because you're doing 5 trades every day, okay, that means that you have 60 divided by 5, you have 12 days. That's a 12-day plan to take $300, and in the process of taking that $300 go in your account to $20,652, and in the process putting in your pocket, let's see, we have 105, 250, 460. Basically 760, 1120, 1690, 23, 2410, 3570. Okay. You put in your pocket about 10 grand and grow your account to 20 grand. Not a bad plan, right?
So this is in our back office, right? On our mall?
No, this is not in the back office.
Okay.
This is
we
not
need-
in the back office. This is part of something that Taz and I, once everybody, because we were trying to go ahead and do this plan with everyone. Okay. And the problem was that we had a very large discrepancy between the participation from people, meaning from this standpoint. We had people that were starting with $50. We had people that were starting with $100. People that were starting with $200. Some people had $300. So there was a very wide margin of participation. And because of that very wide margin, it's very difficult to do something like this, because if everybody's not starting from the same point, then you have to take in consideration everybody's circumstances. And when you go into something as aggressive as this, where somebody only has $50 to go ahead and start with, you break the bank in a day or two, because they can't keep up with the space. Okay. So what ended up happening is that we were spinning wheels and spinning wheels and spinning wheels. So we made a decision to revert to what we've been doing for the past 3-4 weeks, which is teaching everybody how to make some money, how to understand how to profit from pocket options. At the same time, this is going to give everybody a chance to put some money in their pockets, okay? And be able to get everybody to be at the same point. Do I follow that plan, Deacon? Yes. I trade with that plan every time that I trade myself personally. Okay. I also go ahead and switch it back and forth depending on how aggressive I want to go ahead and be. I have the ability to go ahead and switch from being very conservative to being very aggressive. Okay, so that's not an issue. But our goal is to get in the very near future, when everybody has the ability to start with $300, then go ahead and go into the road to 6 figures in 90 days. Okay, and that basically is going to mean taking $300, okay, taking $300 and growing it to 6 figures in 90 days. And we all are going to get there. It's just a matter of time. And it's even going to get even easier and better now when on next week, we roll out the SBA for everybody. Okay. Because what the SBA is going to enable you to guys, everybody to go ahead and do is not just make money on the binary option side, but also start making money on the Forex side. My very first SBA trade, okay, I made $114 in 30 minutes. One trade.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. You guys are going to be absolutely, and Taz right now is in the lab, perfecting everything and making sure that everything is up to par. Yes, Deacon, everybody's going to have access to it. Okay. If you are a primary member, you're going to have access to the basic SBA. If you're a VIP, you will have access to the basic SBA and also all the bells and whistles that come with it. There are a lot of things that are coming down the pike that we've been working on for several weeks, okay, that are going to make everybody happy. Uncle Willie can probably attest to that because he's been he has experienced the SBA before, haven't you, Uncle Willie?
Yep, it's a monster, man.
I was shocked. I was flabbergasted because, you know, when he showed it to me and said, yeah, okay. But then he let me play with it. He actually play with it and make a trade with it. And I said, God damn.
It's very simple.
It is a beast.
Very
it
simple.
is a beast. And he just improved it.
Oh,
Okay. What you're going to have is a 6.0 version of the SBA,
Wow.
okay?
So
The
SBA is what
6
again?
SBA stands for Star Bar Arrow. So basically what you're doing is you're waiting for a star, a bar, and an arrow to appear on the chart. If it is a star, a bar, and a red arrow, you sell it. Okay? If it is a star, a bar, and a green arrow, you buy it. And basically what you do, you sell it until it turns into a buy, and then you buy it and it turns into a sale. And I mean, I picked up in 30 minutes on that one trade, I picked up 25 pips like it was nothing.
Yeah, and you're done for the day. You good.
Like it was nothing. Okay. I am on another trade that is with the SBA that by the time it's said and done is going to be 200 pips.
Mhm.
Are you listening to that? 200 pips. That's your week. Okay. 200 pips at a half a lot. Okay, it's $1,000. Okay. And it's like taking candy from a baby. You guys have no idea the capabilities that TAS has. I am absolutely and completely shocked at how deep those quiet waters are. Because TAS talks a lot, but he doesn't tell you what he has. You have no idea what he's about to bring on board. Let me stop the recording 1 second because we're going to go locker room now.
Locker room call.